Hello, this is video 5 of 6 in our series of 6 videos that I recorded in Campbell County June 11th, 2019. We're just coming off a Frontier Road and we're turning left on General Carl W. Steiner Highway. We're going west, coming into La Follette. We're not in the city of La Follette at this time. We're out in the county, but we're not far from La Follette city limits. Just before we get to the city limits, I'll turn right on Wildwood Circle, and then I'll get on Back Valley Road, which goes into East Prospect, and then we'll get on Highway 25W. And I think, I'm trying to think ahead. This video will end shortly after we turn left on Highway 25W. As we continue toward La Follette, you can see it's a beautiful day. It's a little more overcast now than it was when I started video 1 of 6. This is Powell Valley. We're coming down Powell Valley. If we did a U-turn and went back the other direction, we would go to Harrogate. That's the city where Lincoln Memorial University is located. If you've never driven this Powell Valley area, driven up Powell Valley, it is just an absolute beautiful drive. And when you get to Harrogate, you can turn right and go to the first traffic light and turn left, and you'll be on Highway 63 that goes on up Powell Valley. Most people that go up Powell Valley are on their way to Middlesboro or Harrogate or Cumberland Gap. And a lot of people has never been on Highway 63 on the other side of 25E. So if you're looking for a nice drive, you can get on 63 and you can go to Sneedville. The last time I was up that way, in fact, I have a series of videos where I was on my way to Sneedville and I got on the wrong road and I went to Tazewell. So when you go up through there, you've got to make sure that you look at the road signs or go on to Google Maps before you leave. Because when you get on some of these roads out in the county, of course, when you're up in that area, you go into Union County, or Claiborne County. So a lot of times when you get on some of the back roads, if you've never been there before, you'll take a wrong turn like I did. And I was doing a video that day. I have it on this YouTube channel if you want to go in and check it out. We continue west on General Carl W. Steiner Highway. And we're going to turn right on Wildwood Circle. But back to what I was talking about. Before I started this, or correction, after I recorded this video, I came back to my computer room and went on Google Maps, or Google Map, and wrote down all the different streets and roads that I covered on this video on June 11th. And I was surprised at how many of these that I traveled down on that day. But when I was out there near Springs Dock, some of those roads, you think, well, one road will go into another road, and it's easy to get confused. But even though I was confused, I think I got it together enough to where if you're watching the video, you know exactly where I was at. But anyway, if you're going into that area and you've never been there before, you can go on Google Map and check it out before you go. At the top of the hill, we'll be turning right on Wildwood Circle. We're still not in the city limits of La Follette when we turn right, but we're close. We're within, I don't know, a quarter of a mile or a half a mile from La Follette city limits when we make this turn. And we're turning on Wildwood Circle. At the intersection, we'll be turning left on Back Valley Road. You can see the Cumberland Mountains off in the distance. And eventually, I don't know if they have that trail completed from La Follette to Cumberland Gap, but the Cumberland Trail will come down this mountain range, and then it'll go down to the mountain range, on the mountain range of the Cumberland Mountains to Cove Lake and Caryville in that area down there. Campbell County is, if you like the outdoors, I would suggest you visit our county. There's a lot of four-wheel trails that you can, if you bring your four-wheeler, you have access to Norris Lake. We're now on the Back Valley Road. We turned left on the Back Valley Road, and we're going west. Now, East Prospect Street, I can't really remember where it goes from one to the other. So, if you're like me, if you see some street signs, you can check it out, because that's what I'm going to be doing. Although I can't read the street signs in the small monitor that I'm looking at while I do this video. When I listen to the playback of some of this dialogue that I place on these videos, it makes me think, well, you should have planned ahead a little more, Frank. On the first parts of the videos, I more or less had everything scoped out, but as we continued, especially between Back Valley Road and East Prospect, and I believe we're now in the city limits of La Follette. When we get to a certain point down here, I'm going to tell you that that's where I believe Back Valley Road goes into East Prospect. And if I'm off, I'm not off more than a mile. Oh. I promise, the next time I do one of these videos, I'll try to get my directions down a little more precise than I have on this video and the one I did out at Alder Springs. I enjoy doing these videos, and I hope you enjoy watching them. And I've mentioned before, I used to put, I can't see the street sign here, I used to put music. Now I think we're on Prospect, but that's close. We're on East Prospect. But I used to put music behind these videos, and that's just not the thing to do. And when I do the audio portion, I just start the video, and I have Audacity. It's a free program. See how you spell that. It's AUDACITY. And if you go to their website, you can download their audio monitor or their audio program to do quite a bit. It's pretty powerful for a free program. Now, some people try to sell it, so make sure you're on the website. You can see that road eroded there to the left. But what I do is, after I do the video, if for you all that are interested in the technical end of doing these videos, which is nothing really complicated, what I do is I place my video tracks in an editor, a video editor. Then I play it back, and I use an audio editor to do the audio portion. Then I upload that audio file, which is a WAV file, into the editor and marry it to the video, and then recompile it into a file that's suitable to upload to YouTube, suitable for uploading to YouTube. As we continue on East Prospect, we're in La Follette. At the end of this East Prospect, we will come out on Highway 25W in La Follette, and we'll turn left. When I started video 1 of 6, the sky was a little clearer than it is now. It looks like the overcast is starting to move in, and it looks like rain, which I think we had some rain that evening. When the flash flood occurred, this is Highway 25W. If you go to the right, you will go to Jellicoe. This used to be the main highway, although this is one of the streets. It's considered Highway 25W now, but one of the streets goes across the creek and down into La Follette, which was the old Dixie Highway. And we're going to turn right on Central Avenue in La Follette, which that was Highway 63 coming into 25W, and now they merged together as two separate highways. And we're going to go through La Follette. If you slow the video down, you might be able to see I couldn't see anything as far as flood damage when I came through here. That's why I'm hesitant to say much about it, because when this event occurred, I was in North Carolina. I always keep my cameras at ready in case something like this flash flood occurred, because if I have my cameras ready, I could get some video during the event. But I had all my cameras with me in North Carolina, and I only heard about the flood. My wife has an iPad or an iPhone, and she was checking some of her friends on Facebook, and she came to me and she said, you know, they've had a flash flood in La Follette. So that evening in North Carolina, we kept abreast of the news. And where we were staying, one of the hurricanes that came into North Carolina pumped so much rain up in that area, they had a flash flood. And I was concerned that we were going to have enough rainfall that some of those mountain streams would get out of their banks. Rain up in the mountain is a prescription for sleeping if you're not worried about flash floods. The place where we go in North Carolina is just, it's paradise up there. I have a video that you can go watch called My Happy Place in North Carolina. Well, that's the end of video 5 of 6. The last video will be a little shorter, which will be 6 of 6. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it, and I enjoy doing them. Bye-bye.